So in our past sessions, right, we started with the business requirements, right? What is the scope of application and how many users we need for it. You may call them roles technically, but from the system wise, they are all the users, starting with admin, manager, seller, customer, and a delivery partner. And BA will collect all these requirements from the product owner. Product owner belongs to client, okay? He will share all the requirements. So once getting all the requirements, once done with all the documentation, finally we need to get sign off. Once sign off is done, we can take it forward. Sign off should done. Then including technical people, he or if he is a technical guy, BA, right? Generally nowadays they are doing this job, okay? They are more technical. Earlier we used to have different roles. So he will create all the UML diagrams to make requirements clear and understandable to the developers, so that he easily can able to explain during explain easily he can able to inject the idea of application easily to his team. So he will be doing this UML diagrams to explain what are all use cases we need to implement. So for admin, we found use cases managing all the managers and reports. He can able to see monthly reports, weekly reports. And for manager, we identified few use cases. He can add sellers, he can promote them, he can block them, he can review the products once a seller adding them, right? He should able to review the products and he can approve them or decline. And he can create a delivery partners and he can block them. As a seller, he should able to manage the products. This is a primary thing that he need to do. So he can able to review the products and submit for the approval. He can add promotions, discounts, cashbacks to his products if they are from long time, if they are in the store and if you want to clear them. He may do some discounts on them. And sales information he should able to see, and products reviews also he should able to see, and product tracking, right? Once he did the parcel, if I am a seller, he ordered one mobile phone from my uh, you know uh, list, my items list. So I need to parcel it, so I need to track where it is. So once it delivery is done, I could able to ask manager, that item is already delivered, please do this element. Okay. And from the customer side, the main important module, right? He should able to do self sign up, right? He should able to do self sign up means he can go to the browser and he can able to register himself. Maybe self sign up option may not provided to seller and may not provided to manager, but in real time Amazon kind of application, they will accept seller's self sign up. I can go to seller portal and I can able to upload all the license details, GST details, and they will review or they will call back. It's up to you, if you want to allow any sellers to add. But always we need to do you know proper checking before adding them, because some illegal activist also can join as a seller and he can, we don't know what he can sell. He may sell drugs or he may sell guns, we don't know, right? So a proper checking, it's better in person if you can able to go to that seller and see where his shop is or where his godowns is, and what kind of licenses he have, and what is his address. It's always better to do the proper checking before adding them as a business partner, right? Sellers and managers all are business partners. And customers, obviously they are from the buying side. So You need to provide sign up option with maybe SSO like Facebook login, Google login, or he can do register himself. Then he can able to log in. Once login, he should able to see all the products and his interested products also. Right? Lot of data engineering is happening internally, right? Uh, from various partners, they are collecting our data and they know our interest. So that interest, e-commerce people will buy, okay, from whoever sell that data. So based on that data, your interest data, right, it used to show. Let's say if you are doing a property search in Google, okay, if you are interested to buy a land or buy a home, when you search in Google, how Facebook knows that Google may sell some data to Facebook, so Facebook also will show immediate ads by showing, based on your interest on that. Especially let's say if you want to buy home in Hyderabad, somewhere in Gachibowli, what it will do, it will show properties near to you in the Gachibowli. They all will read, or they will get information from the partners, whoever knows what you all interested in. So the customer interest products also they can show, as our application may not having that capability, but your application should have some integration layer. At least you need to provide one table or one web service call. If somebody provide, okay, I'll provide the data read from my database, or uh, this is somewhat a rest call, you call my rest service, it will give the data. Somewhere one interface if you can design and leave it, right, in future, when you identify such data from partners, right, you can able to get it directly into your system, so that you can, show all his interest. Or you may do some social engineering, social engineering in the sense like, via social platforms. You may also do the marketing. You may put advertisements. Okay. uh, yeah, and as a user I can able to search products and add products to the cart, and I can buy or cancel that products. Okay. And he should able to track the delivery once he buy the item, and once he get the item he should able to review it. And if it is having a return policy, he should able to return it if we don't like it. He should able to see the order history. And the final user, delivery partner, updating the delivery information, only his job. So by reading these use cases or by looking these use cases, anybody can easily understand what the system is all for and how many users they have. So for developers or anybody, right, who wants to know about your system, easily they can understand by looking into these pictures. So that's why we used to call it as, unified modeling language. It's a kind of universal language. Anybody can able to imagine your system directly by looking into it. So it's an easy way to communicate, rather than with the words, right? When somebody show this document, you may take a lot of time to remember this, documented thing. But if you see with the images, if you see pictorial representation, to remember this complete business requirement may take, up to months to you to remember each point. But when you go through these pictorial representations, right, maybe hardly in an hour you can able to remember everything. That is the beauty of pictorial representations for anything, right? With images, if you try to explain, easily people will remember it. So that's where the UML is so popular. And to understand the flow also, I said, right, sequence diagrams you can create, class diagrams and entity diagrams. So what I used to prefer is first use case diagrams. They are very very important for any system to understand the scope. And entity diagrams, again, the most, they will play the most crucial role. Okay. So with use case and entity diagrams you can do anything. So whereas in entity diagram, what we will do complete analysis of each use case very in depth, and we will identify the parameters. Okay, which means admin is doing managing users. Managing users means what? What many parameters he need to maintain. Okay, that all we will identify, so that you can able to create a table for any application, right? For any application, which you implement from the scratch, or new changes while you are adding, generally what you need to know, people will give a story, people will give story, some storyline as a so and so user, or as an admin I want to create managers so that manager can log in and do his activities, something. If this is the story, if this is the story, this is how we used to write story or task while giving tasks. Okay, when somebody, when your BA will provide this task right to you, so if they ask you to develop, will you directly develop it, or do you ask questions to it? You will put lot of questions. Okay, create manager you are saying, but what information I need to allow to admin to create it? What are all the parameters? So that is the first question. What is the UI? Okay, so you will be getting lot of doubts, right? You have one single line statement. How you will imagine UI? How you will imagine, your table? You don't know, right? So you will ask UI mockup. So from UI mockup, we will clearly understand how to create that presentation layer and how many parameters it is having. Again, this one also will play very crucial role. So we will ask a UI mockup. So he will say, okay, so our UI used to be like this. It will have name, email, address, okay, and the manager pin code, something like this. They will list out all the parameters, and is it a text box or drop down list? Everything they provide as part of, they provide in the sense, if you are in that position, you need to provide them, right? UI guy or UX guy will do this, or else you also can do it. If you don't have that much budget, right? As a technical lead, you can do all this, or you can ask your BA to do all this for you. So he can create them, so that will be helpful to the developer to whom you assign. Let's say if I assign this task to Rajesh, he need to put that questions. If you are a developer, if you are in a team, when somebody assign a story to you, immediately what you need to say as a developer, you should ask this question: where is the UI mockup? So what are all the properties? What are all, uh, when you look into these properties, easily you can imagine their data types. Still, you can ask them what is the test data. Provide me some test data, because sometimes you will imagine something, and they might have some other expectation also. Okay, so you may ask some mock data also. What they will do in this mockup itself, they will give some test data. So something RAM, his name is RAM, something like this. You need to give, and validations also they will write. So email ID, it should accept something like at the rate any mail ID, address. You should, it is a text, text area box. You should able to enter 5 6 lines of address here, and pin code. So it used to be like number 50089, and phone number. This is also a lengthy 10 digits number. They will put all these validations information, like mock data, everything they will provide here, so that you can at least, you'll be getting know like what kind of class you need to create, what are all the data types of your input variables. Otherwise, if you don't put this question, where is the UI mockup? Let's say if your application is having UI, some applications may not have UI. In that case, you may directly ask what are all the properties that I'll get. If it is having UI, compulsory you should ask what, where is the UI mockup. So this guy, he will put a question. He don't know anything. Initially, he don't know anything. By looking into the story, he can't imagine everything. So he will be in confusion. Then he need to put the question: where is UI mock? So then, proactively, your BA should prepare all this very ahead of story itself, before your sprint starts, before your work start, right? You should be ready with it. So he will add this as a attachment, maybe in your Zira. Once this attachment is added, you will be imagining, okay, this is UI. So then as a developer, you should able to imagine how to create a table also. You have UI mockup. So this UI mock you can convert it into during development, right? During development, easily you can able to create UI. As a developer, what you will do using this UI mockup, the next step immediately, this question got clarified. So we will start doing it. We will be start doing it. He is now okay with the requirement. Now he should able to do it. Excuse me, just a minute. Yeah. So now he can able to do it. What he will do, he can imagine the table. First he will identify. Anyway, by looking into use cases, he will understand what it is going to do. So then he immediately what he will do, first he will create entity. As a first step, developer will create a table. The first step, step one, he will create the table. By looking into it, he will imagine the table. First thing he will do, he will create table script, SQL script, and he will execute. So table will be ready. Then what he will do immediately, if he is using ORM, he will create an entity. You know, right, in ORM, table equivalent entities we create. So table will have which properties? All the same properties, name, email address, pin code. Okay, he will create table maybe with primary key. If you well aware of normalization, right? First normal form, second normal form, third normal form. It's not a complicated thing, but every table should have a primary key at least. So in UI, I don't have primary key, but while creating records, I need a primary key. So you will be creating a table here. You will be creating a table here, ID, some data type number, and you must specify it as a primary key. And the remaining fields, name, varchar, email, varchar, address, varchar with proper sizes, pin code, phone number. You can create the table. So this is how in Agile it is happening. In Agile, this is how it is happening. Nobody providing entity diagram, but it's good if you can able to provide this entity diagrams along with this UI, right? Table also if you can decide. Okay, so you may put question: do you have table structure? You can put this question. If we have, we can provide. So maybe if they are ready with the table structure, right? UI mockup they will provide. Your use case also they will provide. If you can provide all of these, it's a simple to developer to understand what to do. So you may attach your images, right? This pictorial representation of use case diagram you can put. Okay, you can put that image also here, so you will get more clarity who is doing what. And you can put a entity diagram also here. If you take this as an example, right? I'm not going to create any entities. Okay, don't worry. Oh, sorry, your name. Add diagram. Here we have ER diagram, entity relationship, ER. So here he can draw the tables. Okay, if you want to do that activity, let's do it. Okay, so that we'll get complete tables list. Will be very much clear what is the table and what is the relationship between both the tables. It will give more idea, clear idea on system. Okay, and yeah, let's do it. Okay, so from the use cases we understand, as admin should able to manage users, managers information he should create. Later he should see the reports. For reports anyway, products tables and sales data he will see. Okay, so let's see manager, right? Manager data we should create. For this use case we need a table. Admin wants to create managers, so you need a table for manager. So manager is also user, but let's create entity first. Manager. So for this manager, what properties you need? You need columns. So the first column is ID. For any user, we will be having ID. And if you want to make it primary key, you can make it. ID should be primary key. Okay, ID. It's a primary key. Data type also mentioned. Now other columns, add column name. Okay, name, data type not providing here. It's okay. Name, email, address. Is this font visible or do you want me to increase this screen size? Control plus control plus plus. Huh, I don't have two plus. Okay. Oh, good. Yeah. So manager is having these properties: ID, name, email address, phone number. What information you need if you hire a manager? Do you want to put any personal information apart from it? His pin code and do you want to put his salary? Put it if you want to keep it. What are all the properties that we thought for the manager? Which division he belongs to? Hmm. Which division he is taking care? Yeah, keep any information here which you want. So now table is ready. By looking into it, anybody can imagine what is the table, what is the primary key, and what are all the remaining columns. If you go to other tools, right, they will provide data type also. Here you can provide data type as well. So we don't have option. Maybe if you want to put it, maybe try like this string. Oh, it is coming. If I use colon, email, string. For database terminology, if you want to use varchar. Okay, I'm using Java terminology. String, phone number, pin code, number, division. Maybe it's string description, salary also, a number. So data types also clear. During table creation, you can create it easily. Table script using this, easily you can able to create it. Okay. Until starting this coding, right, you may feel little boring, but still, yeah, this is how. If you do, then only you can able to, you know, um, achieve the things. Otherwise, coding is not a difficult area. If you ask me, Apart from that, many things that we need to learn from beginning, how to collect requirements to how to make others understanding, your requirements, how to create stories, how to estimate it. All these are very, very important in your daily activities. Even in daily, our work life also, coding is not a major part. Okay, apart from that, so many things you need to, participate in. So how people will expect from you is, apart from the coding, they will expect so many other skills. Is he can able to manage the team, or he can able to at least involve in the team? Is he able to give the efforts and estimations? Does he know how to estimate a story? Right? They will ask you end of the day, once one story, you got picked, they will ask you how much time you will take. At least you should be in a position to estimate it. So when you know all these end-to-end areas, right? It's easy to you to uh, do anything throughout the application layers, right? In any activity you can easily participate. That's how you will be very close to real time. Yeah, for working people, they know, right? But if you are a fresher, it's very, very important to you to know each area. Okay, so the manager entity is ready, so admin can able to deal with this table for admin use case. For the next user, manager need to maintain sellers. Okay, so I need one more table. Copy paste. Okay, seller table. Oh, seller. Again, coming to seller table columns. ID. For any table, ID is mandatory. It should be primary key. Add other columns. Same like name, string, email, string, address, string, phone number, number, pin code, and number, and his license, data type. You may need to upload a file. So you can take file input, blob, or file reference you can put here. We'll talk about that. At least to keep remember what is it. Put the data type, file data type you need, license copy, and maybe his registration copy, registration document, and his business valid up to some date, maybe as per license, up to what date his license is valid for, or license valid till, valid from valid till something you may put, and his mode of or area of business, which business he is doing, string. And if you need information is money, right, nowadays. So as much as information you have, you can able to understand your partners how much capable they are. So his net assets, in case if you want to know his capability, his net worth, maybe not required for your business, but it's a strategy, right, to know how capable he is in future. As a business mind, you should have so many things in your brain, right? So in future I may offer something, a business offers to seller. Is he in a position to take it up? How I can know? I should see his net worth, or annual income or annual business, his annual sales. All these properties will help more to about the seller. And as we thought, right, his in a repeated interval, if you want to update his overall performance performance of the seller via reviews and ratings, we should able to apply his performance. Once he reach to very low performance, they can discontinue the seller. So to know when the seller is created, from when he is on the system, how do you know? So the date created, when he joined, maybe date created or joined date, or created date. Maybe his record I may create today. So today itself might be joined date, or a created date itself you can consider as a joined date, when he joined with us as a seller. Every information is mandatory. Now we may create simply him as a user, and he may um, say to others like I am partner with him from last 10 years. Somewhere you should know when he is created as a proof, right? For every record it is mandatory. Okay, so this transaction parameters are mandatory: created date, updated date. Sometimes we may update his information. We should know when that update is happened. Updated date, and who created. We have many managers. Who is the manager responsible for the seller? So that manager ID as a foreign key. FK, foreign key. Manager ID, here it is primary key. We need to have manager ID as a foreign key here, so that when we see the seller information, we can understand to whom he belongs to, which manager is the manager for this seller. By this is a simple property, it will do lot of help when the seller add his products and submit it from the system. We should get this manager ID. So via this manager ID we should able to pull this manager information. Okay, so this relationship is important. So the relationship between manager and sellers, one manager can have n number of sellers. So the relation is one to many relationship. One to many. The relationship is one to many. One manager can have many sellers records. One manager can have any number of seller records. One to many, or one to many. One to many relationship. Many sellers belongs to one manager. Okay. Then what about the seller or other manager properties, right? Review products. So first you need products, right? There is no product at seller need to create it. So we will identify this table from seller. And the delivery partners, he should able to create them, right? So we need one more delivery partner table. And he can promote them, right? Sellers also he can promote. So how does he promote, or how does he activate them? One column may required active is active column. So if is active is true, is active in the system. If is active is not true, if is active is not true, he may not. If it is a false, he may not active in the system. Or any promotions if you want to give to him, you know, um, is a verified user or a verified seller, and if you want to make some sellers as a privileged sellers, is having any special privileges, privileged seller, you can have any number of categories. All the sellers are, sellers for your application, but they may have different privileges, right? You may be customer in one shop, he may give one kind of respect to you, and for others he may give different respect. So if you are a regular customer and if you are purchasing lot of items and if you are genuinely paying and if you are doing less arguments, you know, he will consider you as a privileged customer. Same way for applications also. If you do regularly ordering foods and cancellations and refunds, if you do lot of inquiries or lot of queries, if you used to put, they don't consider as a privileged customer. They might consider us like he's doing something else, some false information always he is giving. So they will put our feedback as well into the system. So if you are a privileged customer, they may give some privileges to you. They will give some value to your word. Okay, they believe that if something is not going well as a privileged customer, if you complain it, they will consider it genuinely you are giving the complaint. Same way for sellers also, they can give some privileges. So is he a privileged seller or not? Manager can give all these privileges. Initially he may not, but once he is verified and once he is doing, good things or fantastic things, he may give that privilege or privilege the seller rankings also. Instead of boolean, we are rankings. If you want to give, you may put rankings starting with the one is low to higher, one, two, three, four, five, something like that you can give. So seller information is ready for, I mean, manager can able to create this information. So and the relationship between manager table and seller table is one to many. And manager also can create delivery partner. Delivery partner, again it is mandatory that you need to have one primary key, id, primary key, name string, email, address, pin code, license. So maybe same thing like seller, join date, and transactions information to identify it when this created and when updated. Along with license, registration document, right? You need to have all the truths. The registration document. and is active. For every table it is mandatory. Remember, created date, updated date, and is active in any system. In any, while you are creating any system, right? If you can maintain these parameters, created date, created time, updated date, updated time, at least time I am not taking. But if you want to see the history of the every record, right, when that record is created, when it is updated, and is still that record is active or not. Why this is active I am using here is, in case if you want to remove the seller from system, you should not delete the record. Always remember this. We will not delete any data in the system for any, most of the applications. It is not a recommended way to delete the data from system directly. We just need to make it inactive. That is sufficient, because we don't know in future again that information might be required to us. Okay, so we should not abruptly delete any records. We should keep every information with us, though he is active or not. Okay, that's why with this soft options, right, is active, if I make it false in system, while writing query, select queries, I'll put this is active where condition. If it is true, then only I'll select them. But from database point of view, all that information is available, so that if I have reports, in reports I may see who are all are inactive, sellers. For them I may send some offers, be active in a system. So I may give some, you know something, some privileges to him to add into the system if he is no longer with us. Okay, such you know uh, columns also you might require in your system. Okay, so he's active. Yeah, during table creation, if you think something more is required, we will add. And he also belongs to manager only. So the manager ID should be foreign. The relationship same. One one manager can have, yeah, a number of delivery partners under him. One, two, many. So I'll make screenshot sheet. Yeah, screenshot of it. Or let me zoom out. Okay, we will design full-fledged ER diagram. Okay. Now, so as a seller, okay, at manager is done. Okay, manager is done. So for this use case, review products and approve products decline, right? Um, Product table is required, but let's do it from the seller side. Anyway, seller is creating that information. Only notification only we send it to him. Okay, but you may put question here. How you will put that notifications? We will take another table, or it may happen via queues. Okay, that we will think. Manage products. Now, product information is very much important into the system that will be created by seller. So what he can create into the system first? Any product, right? will have a category. Which category it is? If you go to any e-commerce domain, right? So the major thing that you will be observing here is Amazon.in. They will ask you to select the category. If you see the filters, it should have signed in. Okay, fine. If I search for the TV or all categories, you can see here all categories in the search itself they given. See the main categories they have: watches, video games under 500. See, they consider this one as a category under 500. Toys and games, tools and home improvements, subscribes and save, sports related, fitness, outdoor related, software, shoes, handbags, prime video also considering as a category, pet supplies, office products, musical instruments, music, movies and TV shows, luxury, beauty, language, Kindle store, jewelry, industrial and scientific, home, kitchen, health, personal, groceries, gift card, garden, furniture, electronics, see, electronics, computers and accessories, collectibles, clothing, car and mobile, bike, motorbike, books, beauty, baby products, audio books, lot of things you can see here. All these are the categories wise they divided it. You may see lot of products here. All that products must belongs to at least one of this category. Okay, so whatever you are seeing here, right? These items must belongs to one category. So as a system, you are allowing sellers to add only these categories. Apart from these categories, you will not allowing anything into the system. See, if you see here, medical, furniture, garden, health. Okay, health related items also they are allowing here. If I say some legal documents, I wanted to upload, I want to sell legal documents here. I want to, you know, legal document templates I wanted to sell. If I'm a lawyer, as a seller, I want to sell my legal documents. But if you see here, Amazon is not allowing you to sell legal documents. See, huh? Guys, am I audible? Hello? Okay, great. Yeah. So categories are very, very important into the system. So under each category again, if I see right, Amazon devices. This is one category. Now search without any data, just Amazon devices I choose, then I searched. So it is showing all that list of items from this category. All these are Amazon items. I don't know what is the relationship with this, but yeah, Amazon items, Fire Stick, Amazon Alexa, their Amazon remotes, or Alexa integrated, JBL speakers, everything. They are listing out here. So each category wise, if I search Amazon fashion, I should able to see products belongs to that. Now if I go to fashion, this complete header is changed. See, all these are belongs to fashion. Again, fashion it is having so many subcategories: men's clothing, women's clothing, footwear. Again, each category, if I go into footwear, again footwear belongs to men's footwear, women's footwear, kids footwear, sports footwear. Again, sports shoes domain itself very big. Again, if I choose men's footwear, again if I go into that subcategory, it is showing lot of men's categories, advertisements, okay, brands they are showing specially. But you want to buy Nike, Polo, Asics, Reebok, Clarks. See, Paragon. Again, if I go to each brand, again brand wise, again it might have again different categories. If I choose Nike, multiple results. Again, Nike is having so many shoes. Again, for each shoes, there are so many colors. See, lot of information they need to feed into the system. See, if I go to that a shoe to choose the colors, they are showing all the colors and the combinations. So many images uploaded, right? So much information they are putting into the application, and they are making us feeling like I am at shop, Amazon shop, and I can able to see all the shoes and available categories also. Some are in gray, some are in black. Gray is not available items. Whatever I choose, that is available in only 9 UK or 10 US size. With the sizes wise, categories wise, so much information we need to make it available into the system. Must be a big. Go ahead. No, 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 no. Nothing will be stored in DB. See this. This image is there, right? Try to inspect this. Right? In inspect, we can able to see the URL of this shoe. Try to inspect it. Source code console. Um, what is the source? Source. Okay. HTTP Amazon Nike port version. See, this is the reference. Keyword. Copy link address. I believe this is the image path or not. Complete page path. So maybe see this image path. Try to inspect and select this image. Obviously, they might storing this into AWS blob storage, and only that blob URL they will use here. In last session, I inspected and found the blob URL directly. Something they did. They are hiding the URL also. Okay, see this image they given here. You able to read it? Let me copy. Okay, you guys can able to see right here. When I hover it, it is showing HTTPS m.media amazon.com. A different subdomain it is using slash images. Okay, maybe this subdomain URL linked to blob storage. Your products images. Maybe they will upload into blob storages. Nowadays we are using Azure blob storages. In AWS also we have blob storages, a different storage itself for doing faster fetch and rendering. Okay, as a file we never store. Hmm, hmm. No. Im- hmm. Image processing with the database is not, it will not give good performance. Images used to be in a MBs, right? File sizes. MBs to GB also, if it is a huge file. If I prefer to save this data, whatever even we thought of uploading licensed documents also, we never store documents here. Instead of storing document, we will store document in a physical memory if it is in premises. Okay, if it is in premises machine, you need to have good mission for storage itself. Maybe use one separate mission for images only, upload into that mission, and try to use good hardware like SSD kind of hard disk and good RAM to process your images, and good uh, maybe different configuration for servers, right? That server configuration you can use and store as a file. File fetching is faster than the database fetching, and databases are always costlier, right, than file storage. So prefer file storage. Yes. Blob only. Everybody started using blobs. They realized it. If it is in their system, right, instead of using blob to store the single page itself, where when I imagine this, if I try to fetch this entire data from my backend, when I load into this page, lot of images coming instantly. If it is trying to fetch this complete information from database, this page itself will take 10 minutes to load, 10 to 20 minutes. But how fast it is, even if I take incognito window, consider this is there in the cache. So if I go with incognito window and if I try to load it also, see how much fetch faster this is. Immediately loading the things from CDNs they will use. All this images stuff which is will take lot of time to load, right? All that data they will fetch from separate CDN storages, separate cloud blobs. So faster than normal data fetching, it will execute and it will render that information here. Only layout will load here. Into that layout all these images will be loaded from blobs, blob CDNs directly. Okay, so that's how. Yeah, so directly they only, but your application need to aware where this image stored. From table it will get only the JSON location of your image. All this data it will get as a JSON in the response. When you try to load this page, right? Let us try to see request and response. Console source network. Okay, I'm in network tab, and let's load it. See, lot of calls are happening. So not many calls happened, not a single call. N number of calls happened here, and if I try to preview it, is request response. Go to each request which is executed and see what is the response of it. You can clearly observe. See QC updates. This image is also loading from different locations. HTTPS images-us.ssl, images-amazon.com. From different locations it is loading. Okay, yeah. So mostly they will use separate. During architecture diagram, I'll clearly explain how it works. Okay, uh, nothing to worry. Yeah, yeah. So here, before going to draw this category, I thought of showing you what kind of categories they have. Lot of categories. Okay, lot of categories we may need to feed into the system. Again, each category will have the products. Okay, so category can have again subcategories. If you consider shoes, right? As I said, category is footwear. Again, footwear will have shoes, sandals. You may have baby footwear. Okay, again coming to the shoes, you can have men and women. Again, if you come to the men and women, they might have different categories: running shoes, formal shoes, sneakers. There are thousands of categories in shoes. I work for one product management system to manage only shoes. There I realized how many shoes we have, how many sandals we have. Okay, how many colors they used to manage. For shoes itself, we designed a big system with complete search engine capabilities. That much as a shoe products. If you even visit the Nike application, right, you will be seeing lot of categories, lot of shoes, lot of colors, lot of sizes. When I say one shoe means shoe will have lot of properties around it. It can have a size, it can have a color. Okay, yeah. So we need to have categories information and items information. We'll draw this on Monday session. Okay, we'll close this entity uh, by Monday, and we will pick up the coding part, architecture diagrams, that all we will create, and we'll start the coding part. We'll go step by step. Okay, no hurry. So once we go back to the development, we should not come back again to this designing part. So you know waterfall model, right? First we will do the analysis step by step to make it success, right? Let me download image. I don't want to. Waterfall, waterfall model in software engineering. So if you see here, first step we do requirements collection. Let it take 1 month or 2 months. First, until unless finishing this, we don't jump into other layer. It used to take lot of time, but initial days, this is the best model that everybody thought and used. Now everything changed. Okay, yeah, you can understand that evolution also. We will talk about it. So requirements gathering, you need to collect all the requirements. You need to get sign off on these requirements. Once requirements designing is done, they will give it for the design. So what designings? Maybe UI UX designing, okay, or mock-ups and tables designing, high level architecture designing they used to do here. Then development people used to start. Coding part will start here. Once done with the development, people will jump into the testing phase. In any of this phase, right? If client comes to add requirements, nobody used to accept it those days. If it is in development phase, they never accept the new requirements. They will say, we will see after this, cycle is done. Until the cycle is done, he need to shut his mouth, even if he has a valid requirements also. That's how they used to get the sign off and agreements. Okay, and testing need to be done and deployment need to be done, and it will go to the maintenance. Then they will take the new work. Until unless finishing it, no changes they will accept. Consider if it is for a home construction. Now foundation is done, right? You given complete requirement for 3 floors. You given requirements. I want to construct 2 bedrooms for each floor. This is how requirements you given, and builder started working on it. Now you thought, no, first floor, second floor, I want to convert it as a duplex. I want to put steps inside itself. If you add that requirements, you don't agree. If you choose waterfall model, but will you continue the contract with him? No, you will definitely ask him, no, do it, I need changes, as because only foundation he did. That is what Agile is. Okay, if I compare with Agile, in Agile always, customer is having flexibility to add the changes, because even his development also, how he will plan, he will give requirements only for the foundation first, then he will give requirements for only pillars, then he will give the requirement for first slab and second slab, third slab, different requirements he will give phases wise. So he will be having so much flexibility to do the changes. That is the beauty of Agile. That is more customer friendly. I don't say developer friendly, but always, right? Business, how you get business with customers only, right? We need to respect, and that is more suitable. Agile with the cloud with the microservices is the most suitable combination. Anyway, I don't want to jump into that discussion in depth. Okay, so what we will do, phase by phase only now we are doing. Okay, at least this documentation stage we need to finish. Until unless finishing the documentation, we can't create roadmap, or we can't give initial efforts, how much efforts will be required. Okay, so we'll be doing it on the Monday session. Okay, the complete entities, then we will start moving into the next step, creating roadmap or project planner we will create. Okay, for the development we will use Microsoft Project Planner or similar to it. I'll draw here so that you will be getting right. People will ask definitely. If you are a senior developer, they might ask you. If you have only two or three members in a team, they may ask your help to design project planning. Okay, so I'll tell you how to do that, like how phases wise we go. I'll be teaching it. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm done.